My dear children, as you can see here, now this is a plant which I have provided the same environmental conditions, but however, these two for the both plants I have provided the same environmental conditions, but however, when you take this plant, right, the sunlight is falling directly towards the apex of the plant. So as you can see here, the plant is growing straight up, right? But however, my dear children, I have kept this plant in a room like place where the sunlight is going to fall from a side, not from direct upward. So in that case, my dear children, what has happened to the plant? As you can see here, it's very clear to us, plant is not going to grow straight up. However, it's going to turn and grow, unlike the first instance, which is over here. So here it has gone straight up, but however, in this plant, my dear children, it's not going to grow straight up. It's going to turn and travel. This turning effect is going to result because the apex of the plant is always growing towards the sunlight. It's going after the sunlight. Apex of the plant stem is also always going to turn towards the sunlight and grow. So if the sunlight is falling directly, then we can observe this kind of a plant growth. However, if the sunlight is going to come from a certain direction, if it is going to lean to a certain direction, then the plant will also lean and travel like this. Okay, so let's head on to the classroom once again and we'll observe what are the other things contained in the lesson. Right, my dear children. Now here I have two potted plants. As you can see here, their heights are like at the same level. So within this activity, what we are going to do is, we are going to select these two plants, and in one particular plant, I'm going to remove the apex. Okay. Then after that, we are going to keep it for several time, like for a week or two. Then we are going to study about the height. Okay. Now it's better to observe the height day by day, but however, within this activity, I'm going to remove the apex, and after like a week or two, I'm going to observe what has happened with the height. Okay, because we can get a very clear observation after like week or two, because after like week or two, this plant or the particular plant item which is going to grow, we will grow up to a certain height, and the plant item which is not going to grow will remain in the same. Okay, so what we have to do is very simple. Select one of these items and remove the apex of it. So I'll use this black color one and I'll remove the apex. So this is the apex, my dear children. So let's remove it. Okay, so I have removed it right now. So as you can see here, the height of the plant, when you compare the height of the plant, it is around the same height. Remember it. It's around the same height, like at the same height, even after removing this apex part. Okay, so it was like in this kind of a position, right? So this plant is like similar to the height of the other plant. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to check this system after like week or two, and let's see what has happened with the system. So my dear children, now this is our result. So I have kept this system for about 2 weeks. Now you can clearly observe what has happened with the system. This is the plant which I did not cut the apex. However, this is the plant which I have removed the apex. As you can see here very clearly, now in the earlier case, right, the height was at the same level, but now you can see that apex has grown up to a certain height in the second plant, which I never removed the apex part. So here the apex has been grown, right? However, the plant which the apex was removed, the height of that plant at the same level. This is slightly grown. However, the plant which I have removed the apex, the height of that plant is at the same level. So my dear children, it's very clear to us that for the growth, right, of the plant apex, right, so for the growth of the plant, apex is going to give out a certain kind of an impact for the growth of the plant. Apex is the one which is growing actually. Okay, so this is our clear observation from the setup. So it's very obvious to us that the plant apex is always the one which is going to grow. So let's head on to the classroom once again and we'll discuss what are the other things contained within the lesson. So my dear children, this is the setup that I have prepared. So I have kept this for a few weeks. I have removed the apex of the first plant, right? And I have kept this system for a few weeks. Now let's observe what is the difference, or like what kind of a difference has occurred within the two plants. So the plant which is over here, you can see it very clearly, this one, right, this plant. So here the apex is now growing towards the the space which I have removed from the box. Means that it is growing outside the box from the gap over here. However, the one which is over here, right, there's no such development, there's no such growth. It's because, right, in here within this one, my dear children, I have removed the apex. So you can clearly see that it's not growing significantly like in the previous one over here, right? Here the apex is growing, right? Here the apex is growing, my dear children. Here you can see it very clearly. The apex is growing towards the area or towards the light from the removed part of the box. So it's very clear to us that within this experiment, the apex of the plant is always growing towards the light. If the apex is not there, right, then we can't observe a significant growth like the previous case. So apex is directly responsible for the growth of a plant. So once again, let's head on to the classroom and we'll study the further things related with our lesson.